Hi guys, welcome to Keeping It Simple Crafts. Today I have for you an everyday welcome wreath tutorial. In this tutorial I go step by step, so this is perfect if you've never made a wreath before and you're just starting out, or if you've made several wreaths. This is still a perfect tutorial for you. For this wreath you're going to need a wreath form, and this one's a 16-inch one from Hobby Lobby. You're going to need 2 rolls of the 10-inch mesh and 1 roll of the 21-inch mesh. First, you're going to want to take your work wreath and take your tinsels and make them stand up toward the ceiling. Work wreaths come in lots of different colors and different sizes too, and this is a 16-inch, and I picked it up at Hobby Lobby. So just kind of remember to choose something that works well with your mesh and your ribbon and your sign. First, I'm going to start with the 21-inch mesh, just gathering it in my hand, going to the inner circle, the first tinsel, putting the mesh in the tinsel, twisting the tinsel around it, and then we are going to let out more mesh, kind of roll the outer edges inward. So I moved down about 12 inches, gathering it together. Now I'm going to the second tinsel on the inner circle, just going to open up that tinsel, put my mesh in it, twist the tinsel around it a few times. Same steps. I'm going to fluff as I go. Slide my hand down about 12 inches, taking those outer edges, folding them inward to make a puff or a poof. Now I'm going to the third tinsel on the inner circle, adding my mesh, just kind of push it down to the frame, then twist the tinsels around your mesh, and I'm going to repeat the same steps all the way around the inner circle, and then I'm going to do the same steps all the way around the outer circle. So I'm just making 12-inch poofs or puffs with the 21-inch mesh. When you're twisting your tinsels, you don't want to twist them too many times if you're planning on adding more mesh and ribbon. You can make this wreath for any season or holiday. You can choose whatever color mesh that you would like. And next I'm working on the outer circle, so same steps. I'm just going to that first outer tinsel, putting the mesh in it, giving it a few twists, fluffing my poofs or puffs as I go. Try to make your puffs or poofs the same size each time, about 12 inches. If you need to get a ruler out, get a ruler out and measure. I hope you're enjoying this wreath tutorial. If you are, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Don't forget to share this video. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. I share lots of budget-friendly DIYs, shop with me videos, shopping hauls, and decorating videos. When you get all of the tinsels filled with mesh, then you're just going to cut your mesh off, take it and push it through the work wreath form to the back, and just zip tie the tail end of the mesh to the frame. And I'm just using a clear 4-inch zip tie. So here's how my wreath looks so far with the 21-inch mesh. And now we're going to be using our 2 rolls of 10-inch mesh. And I also picked up my 10-inch mesh at Hobby Lobby, and on each roll it only has 6 yards. Most rolls have more than that, but for some reason this one only has 6 yards on each roll, so you'll need 2 rolls, and I'm cutting it into strips at 24 inches. I am going to be using my 10-inch mesh to put a woodland ruffle or cruffle in each tinsel. So I'm just letting it curl toward the ceiling, rolling the end 2 or 3 times, putting a chip clip on it, or you can use a clothespin, going to the other end. Notice it curls toward the ceiling, roll that in 2 or 3 times. Then I'm going to take my fingers, walk my fingers up the center of my mesh until I get to the other end. Then I'm going to remove the chip clip or clothespin, and then I have a beautiful woodland ruffle or cruffle, and this method helps to keep down the fraying. So I'm going to my inner circle, first tinsel, just untwisting it a little bit to slide my ruffle in it. Then I'm going to twist the tinsel back, and I'm going to put a woodland ruffle or cruffle in every tinsel. So same steps. I am just going to cut a strip at 24 inches, roll the end 2 or 3 times, put a chip clip on it, go to the other end, roll it 2 or 3 times, walk my fingers up the center of the mesh until I get to the other end. Then now I'm going to go to the outer tinsel and I'm going to just untwist it a few times and put my ruffle in, then twist it back. If you wanted to add ribbon tails now, it would be a good time to cut your ribbon at like 12-inch strips and place them on top of your ruffle before you twist your tinsels back. So that's always an option. I like to fluff and shape my mesh as I go. So in just a minute you'll see that I have all of the tinsels full of ruffles and it makes a nice, big, pretty, fluffy wreath. Very simple method to do. There are different ways that you can make the woodland ruffle or cruffle method. You could take your hands, roll each end at the same time, and then walk your fingers to the center until they meet to make it if you don't like using a chip clip or a clothespin. And I have lots of tutorials where I show this step. I didn't show it in this one, but I can link one in the description box that does show that way of making a woodland ruffle or cruffle. So here's how it looks, and I just love the different textures, especially of this 10-inch mesh from Hobby Lobby, and that's how much I had left over. Next, I'm going to be adding a beautiful butterfly to my wreath, and this butterfly came from the spring section at Hobby Lobby, and it was on sale for 40% off. And we're going to be adding some ribbon and making a bow too, and you'll want to use ribbon with wire. So this has the wired edge, and I got lucky and got this ribbon on sale. So just remember, Hobby Lobby does sales, and so we're going to be using 3 colors. The orange ribbon is from Sam's Club. So you're going to need your scissors, some floral wire, zip tie, and some ribbon. And then I'm letting out about a 9-inch tail to get started. Now I'm just making a loop, placing it in my left hand. Then I'm going to go the other side, make another loop the same size as my first loop. Try to make sure you make your loops the same size each time. So I'm going to do 2 loops on the left, 2 loops on the right. Then I'm going to be adding 2 more colors. So this is going to be a big, beautiful, fun bow for this wreath. And I have lots of bow tutorials on my YouTube channel too. I even have a bow tutorial playlist. So there's lots of different styles and ways to tie bows. When you get your bow the size you want, then you're going to want to take either a zip tie or some floral wire and wrap it nice and tight around the center of the bow. And I was having a little bit of trouble getting my zip tie to close, so I chose a 4-inch zip tie, and that was the wrong size. It was a little too small, so I ended up taking some 20 gauge floral wire and wrapping it nice and tight around the center of my bow, and that just makes it really simple and easy to add my bow to my wreath. Next, I'm going to dovetail the ends, so fold your tail in half with the edges to the left side, go to the folded side, cut away from the fold, and that makes the pretty V on the ends, or you can just cut them at a slant, and then you're going to want to fluff and shape your bow. Now I'm taking the bow wires, going to the top on the left side at the top, taking those wires, threading them through the mesh. So you'll want to thread the wires through the mesh, then go the back, give those wires a few twists, cut them off short and fold them down. And here's how it looks with my bow. To attach my butterfly to the wreath, I am just taking some long zip ties, connecting them together, and going to zip tie the butterfly onto the work wreath. I am just finding a spot that I can thread the zip ties through. Then I'm going to go to the back, zip tie them together, then cut off the little part of the zip tie that sticks out. So just make sure you have it where you want before you zip tie it. Sorry if you hear something. My little dog, Parker, he's my little Chihuahua. He's in here with me. And then my daughter's little coonhound, Miss Lucky, she's also in here with me while I'm editing this video. So here's how it looks with the bow and the butterfly, but I think we need to add some more ribbon. So I'm pinching my ribbon together. I just have the 2.5-inch width ribbon stacked on top of each other, going to the top tinsel, just twisting my ribbon in a tinsel, not going to pull it tight, just going to leave it kind of loose. Go to the next tinsel and twist the tinsel around my ribbon. At the end of this video, Miss Willow, my cat, she has to check out my wreaths, so I think she approves of this one. You'll have to let me know if you approve of it or not. So I added wreath at the top and the bottom with a 2.5-inch, and then I thought it needed a pop of that orange, pretty orange ribbon. So I did add some of the orange ribbon to give it a pop of color across the inner circle at the top and the bottom, and I just left the tails cut at a slant. There's lots of different ways to decorate your wreaths. Today I went with some pretty greenery that I found for $1.25 at Dollar Tree, and I just cut it into shorter pieces, added a little bit of hot glue to the end, and hot glued some greenery, but you could go with some pretty florals. There's all kinds of neat ways to decorate wreaths. I hope this tutorial is giving you some ideas and inspiring you to want to make a wreath. I am also on Keeping It Simple Crafts on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you don't already follow me on one of those, make sure you go follow me on those 3 also. And here I am adding the 1.5-inch width ribbon with wire from Sam's Club. So I'm just adding a strip of ribbon. I am Adding this one to the inner circle tinsels, just doing a strip across the top and across the bottom so that it looks like my tails of my bow are kind of reaching across. And I think it looks really pretty with that orange flowing across the wreath. And last, I'm adding these greenery picks from Dollar Tree for only $1.25. I believe I added 3. I may have added 4 of these, so I just cut them into shorter pieces, added a little bit of Gorilla Glue hot glue to the end, and placed most of my greenery right on top of the tinsels. So you'll want to fold your tinsels down and then just place some greenery over it, or you could add flowers or whatever that you would like to decorate your wreath. Just be very careful when you use your hot glue. If you have made it this far with me watching this tutorial, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to share this video, hit the subscribe button if you have not already, and thank you guys that always leave the sweetest comments on my videos. And there was Miss Willow. I almost missed seeing her, but she had to check it out to make sure that it was okay for me to share with y'all. So thanks guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.